And we are live again, coming to you from Palm Springs, California. Beautiful weather today, and even a more interesting day, day two. We're coming across a lot more diverse topics as it relates to field service. And before we get into this episode, I want to apologize for the audio editor. I was just told by Rowan that the past two episodes, the audio wasn't coming through clearly, and we had an issue. So, this is my first amateur mistake going live. This is what happens when you go live and you're not 100% ready and you're not super technical. But hey, it's all about getting it done over getting it perfect. And as you go, you learn and you improve. So hopefully now the audio is coming through. And if there are still any audio challenges, please do let me know in the comments. So we can make sure that all of these insights and breakthrough conversations are coming to you very clearly. And I'm really excited about having with me David Sanderson. David, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We've
Glad
been
to be here.
a lot of the conversation here at the conference is about data and about technology and labor shortage, and everyone is fixing on adding more stuff instead of making more of what you already have, so you can deliver a better customer experience and you can differentiate yourself from other service companies. Because at the end of the day, service companies are almost the same. They deliver the same type of service to the same type of customers and almost at the same price. So then how do you pick a partner, a service provider? What differentiates? How can you stand out in the market? And I think, through our conversation a little bit earlier, you shed light on a topic that, while it may not be given the proper, it's not being properly highlighted at events like this, but it's more important than ever to really make sure that it exists in your organization. So, David, how do we differentiate our service companies from others in the market by giving a better customer experience?
So great question, and thank you for having me. Yeah, exactly. So this conference is a lot about the technology, but until AI and the bots take over, we're still humans, right? We still need to talk to each other and have a relationship.
Yes.
So the image of companies is exactly that. It's that field service technician or engineer in the field represents your company to the customer, and that's their eerily image of you after they purchase the product or device from you. So how does that person interact with the people in your company? The operator, the plant manager, their image of a company is really through that technician. And if that technician cannot talk and relate correctly, they're not going to have a good feeling, even if your product or device performs well, right? So I'm working with my team called Global Partners Training to help that soft side, if you will, of the engagement of the people in the field with the customers.
And what are some use cases or stories that you have that could give us a more insight into the impact of not having this in place?
So the impact is on three levels, we believe, right? One, to the company itself that sponsors and trains and develops their field service engineer. Second, to the customers of theirs. And third, to the FSC or TSC himself, right? So there's three levels of impact. We work with a program called Total Customer Focus. So we assumed everybody has basic customer service, but how do you differentiate? How do you improve upon that? So we have an 8-step process that we've developed and working exclusively in the field service area to help these people recognize that and develop them so they can interact with customers on simple things as the initial engagement, the discussions of what the issue is, to fixing the problem, to escalations, anything that they might encounter with a customer.
Yeah, so these are great concepts, right? How can you make it more practical to me? So how is it playing out today in the field? And before having soft skills training and after soft skills training, do you have like a customer story that you can tell us, or an incident that happened that you recall that showcases this kind of impact on the customer experience?
Oh, sure. We have a lot of examples. So I'm just going to use one of our clients called Coherence, the largest commercial laser company in the world based in California. We've been training their FSCs globally for them, and they work with everything medical devices, but particularly with automotive. So they worked with a BMW, Ford, and we had one case where they actually shut the line down of BMW 7 Series in Detroit. No, we're South Carolina. And the issue was very technical in the sense of there was a laser embedded in one of the operations. And the technician came in and they said, oh, it's this problem. And in fact, it wasn't. They didn't know what that. And so the technician had to uncover that issue and ask not only the operators, but the floor manager about what was going on. And in the meantime, they had shut down production. You can imagine a car company losing production of even an hour is hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so they were able to bring in one of our guys who were trained on the relationship. The first technician couldn't figure it. He's asking simple engagement, open questions, engaging them on what was actually happening with the operators, not the machine itself. They were to uncover it within, I think he told me, within 45 minutes. They had the line up and running within an hour and totally solved. But that had been stalled for hours, in fact, half a day. That line was down. So using our tool set, we'd like to call it a tool set. Most of these guys have an actual tool set, wrenches, whatever. We now provide them with a mental tool set of engagement with the customer.
Amazing. So you were able to equip the technician with a tool set that enabled him to uncover the root cause of the breakdown that he couldn't answer by just looking at the machine and examining the machine. Because of the complex nature of these machines and a lot of people interact with the machine, he had to actually talk to the people and not just focus on the machine. He had to correlate or triage or triangulate the insight from the machine and the insight from the people who are working on the machine to be able to come to the resolution.
Think of it as a sort of mental diagnostic, right? And so often the technicians go to the root, try to find the root cause. They want to solve something, right? I back them up, or we back them up and say, no, let's figure out the problem statement. What is really happening? What are we trying to understand here? Not, oh, I know how to fix this. I know what it is. And that may happen sometime, but most often that's not it. So even worse, they solve a problem that's not really the problem. And they're having to stay there longer or come back the next day to the same problem because they hadn't understood the full parameters of the problem. And I like to call it formulating the problem statement by understanding how the usage of that device was being done incorrectly or correctly. For example, it's running out of spec. And that could have a lot of implications on that machine or device. They don't know that if they haven't talked to the people there to understand their issues and challenges.
I love it. So that's a great use case to be able to better diagnose and troubleshoot machines. You need to equip your technicians with tools, and those tools are the type of questions and how you converse in a non-judgmental way, I guess, to really uncover those insights. So how else could we use these tools in what other contexts or use cases?
Well, for example, the sort of a byproduct, although we don't focus on that, might be cross-selling or upselling. So you have a machine or tool that's been there 10, 12 years, a lot of cases that happens, and it's beginning to break down and run down. And they're back there every month, every whatever to fix it. They can say, look, we have a new opportunity to sell you a better device, better efficiency, et cetera, et cetera. The technicians are the ones there the most often, not the sales guys. They can see this and offer that. Or they could offer a service contract that might help the customer and the company itself at the same time. So those are some of the other opportunities that occur and become available.
My experience with technicians is they don't like to sell.
No.
Right? And so how do you enable them to they don't have to sell, but how do they create demand? If they can educate the customer, if they have the tools to educate the customer and the communication skills to educate them about the problems and the impact that may come as a result of not buying the equipment, and so they're more like an advisor almost. That can help you in your cross-sell and upsell.
You want to be careful. You don't want to turn the technician into salesman. That's an absolute. But we want to enable them to uncover opportunities they could pass along to the sales guys, the other thing. And to your point, what I'd like to do is to view them and help them become a trusted partner. Not here's my vendor X guy at FSC coming from X company to service my machine or device. No, here's Joe coming to help me run my business. See the mentality, the difference? If they perceive you as a partner or someone helping them versus a vendor trying to do something for them, total different relationship.
That's awesome. Well, this, the area of soft skills is, wider than we could possibly cover it on a 5-10 minute podcast episode. But this is critical so you can make more out of your existing workforce. What more tools can you give them outside of the technical training and advancement? Looking at the soft skills side will help you not only in improving the customer experience, but helps you in troubleshooting and diagnosing
Correct.
equipment faster, and help you in your go-to-market motion. I just had Anthony on, and we were talking about go-to-market motion. Well, this plays straight into your go-to-market motion if you can enable your technicians to become advisors, that trusted advisor, and trade demand, so that then your account executives or field sales field force can then come in, scoop up the opportunity, and close the sale. Any last tips you would like to leave us with when it comes to soft skills development?
Yeah, I think the industry, and you've probably heard this, there's a wave of people retiring, leaving the industry.
Yes.
They're bringing on new people. So there's this onboarding process. How do we bring the younger generation on and get
Yes.
them involved in field service? So I encourage companies to think about that. And we do offer that as part of that initial engagement, get them out there with that. And having said that, then also the existing people who are in the field is find ways to help them get better or improve on what they're doing with their people. And look at them as investments, right? You don't want to lose people because it's 10, 20 times more expensive to bring somebody on new. You want to keep your people. Retention's important. Investing in them also signifies to them that they're valuable to your company. So look at this as multiple implications of not only providing better customer service, but making your people who work for you feel more valued and important in the company.
Yeah, and putting your people first in an industry where labor shortage is wreaking havoc across the industry is one of the key priorities to growing your business. So David, it's been great having you on the show.
My pleasure. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. How can folks learn more about what you do around soft skills development and enablement?
So Global Partners Training on our website, gptts.com. Learn all about what we do. We have case studies, examples of the various companies we work with here at the show and in the field service industry. Look us up on LinkedIn and different platforms that we have available, and we attend the trade shows. So.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, folks.
All right.
David, I'm excited to continue this conversation, explore this topic in more deeper.
Great. We really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.